All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the February 11th, 2025 Board of County Commissioners meeting. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, first thing we have on our agenda are minutes. Gentlemen, do we have any additions or corrections?
No.
I move to approve the proceedings of the Board of County Commissioners for Montezuma County for Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proceedings of the Board of Commissioners, Montezuma County for February 4th, 2025 as presented. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, planning. Looks like we have a couple public hearings, so this being the time set aside for a public hearing for Sharon and David Milholland. Do we have the representatives here? Come on down, ma'am. Ready? All right. Diana, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Commissioner Candelaria,
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay,
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver,
Here.
Administrator Anderson,
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski,
Here.
Diana Smith, Deputy County Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination of proposed subdivision amendment and rezoning application to Tract 1 of the Ferguson Subdivision submitted by Sharon and David Milholland on property located at 17813 Road G, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 10.02 acres, more or less located north of Road G, situated in Section 33, Township 36 North, Range 17 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, February 11th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the Commissioner's Hearing Room. Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online service at https://co.montezuma.co smartgovcommunity.com public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 15th day of January 2025. Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, January 29th, 2025.
All right, thank you, Diana. Okay, John, would you give us an overview on this, please?
Yes, the Milhollands are planning to subdivide the existing Tract 1 in the Ferguson Subdivision. They would like to cut 3 acres off the east end of their 10-acre lot. Their house and garage are there on the west. The east side is just vacant. There's a straight stretch of County Road G there, so getting a driveway access permit to that newly created parcel wouldn't be a problem. They're just splitting it off and planning on selling it.
Okay. The only question that I have is the site distance. Is there plenty of site distance? I didn't see anything from Rob, but that would be my only question.
Yeah.
Because it is
There is
accessible.
a bend in the road to the east, but it's a good distance away, so there is at least 300 feet of
Okay.
clear view.
All right. That's the only question I have looking at that. Otherwise, it looks pretty straightforward. I kind of like
Right.
these. They're quick and easy. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's all I have, gentlemen.
Gerald, do you have anything?
Just, are those other lots around it, 3 and 4? Or what are they?
Yeah, the lot 3 curves north and east of there, and then there's another lot.
But were they in the original subdivision?
Yes.
Two?
I don't remember a lot 4. Travis, can you go to the site map? Sorry, it's been a while since we looked at that, but
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because a lot of these access off of G Road. I don't
Yeah.
see a main subdivision road
right.
that would access all of them. Most of them, or a lot of them, access right off of G. So I don't.
Travis, can you pull up the GIS map? That subdivision was created at one time, but I don't remember 4 lots being in there. I believe it's only 2 right now. What's the application say?
Isn't, to the east there, isn't that neighbor 3, and then to the north, isn't that same owner as the one to the west, or vice versa?
Click on that one to the right there. You have to click on the arrow now. Yeah, that one's not in the subdivision.
Okay.
I think it's just the 2 lots, the Milhollands and then the
Anyway,
parcel.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's
So-
one to the east and also one to the north.
So in this
would
subdivision,
be
this would
3.
create 3 lots in the entire subdivision. Okay, would you like to add anything?
Pardon me.
Would you like to add anything?
No, I think we all agree that this is a fairly straightforward proposal here. Very easy access, some infrastructure is already available, and we already have an interested party in buying this parcel who proposes a single-story, single-family home. So that would be the only thing I would add.
Okay. All right, with that then, I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for this application. If anybody in the room would like to speak for or against the application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments, and you may address the board at this time. All right, seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this application and bring it back to the commissioners. Gentlemen.
The only other thing I have is the new owners, make sure they're cognizant of the setback lines, please.
And the entire land use code.
Yeah, good point.
The entire land use code. I think we can even make a copy of that for you and provide it for them, but
It's
that would be much appreciated.
land use code is free online under our public
Wow.
portal
Perfect.
for the whole
County.
world.
Yeah. Okay.
He is a local builder, and so he's very familiar with code already.
I appreciate that, but still,
Yeah,
Let's just stop at local builder.
yeah.
let's still remind everybody that there is something that they do have to follow. So, gentlemen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I move to approve this proposed subdivision amendment and rezoning application to Tract 1 of the Ferguson Subdivision submitted by Sharon and David Milholland on property located at 17813 Road G, Cortez, Colorado.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed subdivision amendment and rezoning application to Tract 1 of the Ferguson Subdivision submitted by Sharon and David Milholland on property located at 17813 Road G, Cortez, Colorado. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. You are approved. Thank you very much, ma'am. Good luck. Please make sure that they understand all of the rules and regulations of the county.
Will do, and thank you very much.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And this public hearing is closed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to go. Thank you. Okay, it is 9:11, so we are okay to move along with our next public hearing, and this is the time being set aside for a public hearing for Martha Pickens, Agent Kyle Roberts. Would you call the roll, please, Diana?
Yes.
Good. How are you today?
Commissioner Candelaria,
Here.
Commissioner Lindsay,
Here.
Commissioner Copenhaver,
Here.
Administrator Anderson,
Here.
Attorney Tarnowski,
Here.
Diana Smith, Deputy County Clerk. Notice is hereby given that the Montezuma County Board of County Commissioners will hold a public hearing for review and determination of proposed single lot development and AR3-9 rezoning application submitted by Martha Pickens, Agent Kyle Roberts, on property located at 5321 Road 24.5, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 60 acres, more or less, located north of Road E, west of Road 24.5, situated in Section 15 Township, 35 North, Range 16 West, N.M.P.M. The hearing will be held Tuesday, February 11, 2025, at 9:20 a.m. in the Commissioners' Hearing Room, Montezuma County Administrative Offices, 109 West Main, Cortez, Colorado. Interested persons may attend and give input. Information may be obtained from the Planning Office online service at https://co.montezuma.co.smartgovcommunity.com, public home. You may also contact the Planning Department at 970-565-2801 with questions. Dated this 15th day of January 2025, Kim Purcell, Clerk, Board of County Commissioners, Montezuma County, Colorado. Published in the Journal on Wednesday, January 29th, 2025.
All right.
And Commissioners, I will just jump in here. I noticed in the reading of the notice there, the notice is actually for 9:20 this morning. It's only 9:13. So I think in the interest of fairness and the opportunity for public comment, we should wait until 9:20 to begin this public hearing.
We concur.
Okay. I have it at 9:10 on my agenda, so I was just going through that. So I do apologize, so we will postpone this until 9:20. So we have a few minutes to.
We
work
do
on-
have a couple of Mylars to be signed. One for the Derricks for Adair Estates CIPUD amendment and for the Manus single lot development.
Okay, go ahead and roll those out, and we'll get those taken care of also.
Boy, picky lawyers, man, I tell you what.
She's terrified.
When you have like metal in your knee, that's the first thing you always whack.
Oh, man. I heard that too. That sounded like it hurt bad. He's got a bad wound.
I busted my kneecap and then I got a plate and 13 screws.
It's never on. I do. Gotta dang near crawl underneath that desk to get it on. So, what do you think? We're gonna have a half head this year, or quarter head?
I don't know. If we don't get some snow, it's gonna be ugly.
It
I
is.
know that. Yeah, I may wish I wasn't ever on a water board. So, you go through years like this,
Oh, man.
it's ugly.
It's not like you guys can make it snow or
I
rain
know,
or anything,
I
you
know,
know?
but that doesn't matter.
I know.
think you can.
I know that, but
Watch your side. Yep, so the next thing will be that disbursement.
God,
So did I read it?
what does somebody like Summit Water do? Do they just throw their hands up, say we give up?
You did just fine. You read
Some of it'll be terrible.
Oh, man.
And, well, the worst one is like the shark tooth's the lowest reading, which is kind of crazy. It seems like there was more snow that way than there was anywhere, but according to the shark tooth water measurement deal, it's the lowest of all those sites, of all the 5 sites that we use.
And it looks like there's more snow up there than anywhere else.
I know, but it records, according to the site,
Yeah.
it's the least of all of them.
Man,
It's only at about 50%. The rest of some of those others are up around 90. But that, according to that one there at Church Street, it's only like 50-60%.
Okay, Don, do you have anything else that you want to talk about for 2 minutes? Any other item that we would like to discuss?
I guess we still need to work on the criteria that you guys prefer, or language you would like to see in a variance section. I found about 7 different counties in Mancus, and P&Z will discuss that on Thursday night at the end of our public hearings. But if you can get us your input, that might be quicker than them coming back with something, and it's something different than what you want to see, and we can get it done sooner than later.
I will definitely respond to you. I also, yeah.
I can email those to you. I don't know if you guys were included. I think I just sent it to the P&Z. I just went
didn't
through
see it
and
come
grabbed Mesa County, Delta, Montrose, Hinsdale, a couple others, and Mancus.
Yeah, if you could send that to us, then I'll get with you
Okay.
one-on-one after the meeting too, just to make sure that we get something for them to at least visualize and look at. And
All right.
I know that they do watch the meetings, so they've heard some of our conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, and I'll reach out.
Fair enough.
Specifically before Thursday night.
Okay, that
All
works.
right. So with that, we are at 9:20, so we now can continue. We do have it, the roll called and the public notice read. So would you give us an overview, please?
Sure. Ms. Pickens is proposing to do a single lot development on her farm. She just basically wants the house with the few acres to keep for herself, and she's planning on selling the remaining 35 plus acres to her neighbor to the west. And he will continue to farm it, but she's just reducing property work.
Perfect. Do you guys have any questions?
No, this is,
The only question I had, and I had answered this morning from Sherry Jane, was, this is just a depiction, the yellow line, because my question is why are we not including the barns and the arena in that? But this is not an actual survey, it's just a drawing.
He's got an update.
So
Okay.
her barn and the arena is being included in her
Okay.
4+ acres. The 55 remaining acres is gonna be an agriculture land that's gonna be farmed, even in the contract that is, this property is under contract. But yes, there's, the hay barns are the two that will be included on the 55 acres, and then her horse barn and the arena is included in her 4+ acres.
Okay. Perfect.
And the setbacks are at 40 feet is what we surveyed out.
Can go all the way to 30. You're okay.
Okay.
Just don't go 29.
yeah.
All right, that's all that I had. So, any other questions? I'll go ahead. All right, well, this being the time also to open this application up for a public hearing or public comment. Anybody wishing to speak for or against this application, please come forward to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you may provide your comments to the board at this time. Seeing no public comment, I'll close the public comment session of this hearing, and I will bring it back to the board. Commissioners, what is your pleasure?
I don't have any problem with it. It's fine.
I'll move that we accept the proposed single lot development and AR 3 through 9 rezoning applications submitted by Martha Pickens, agent Kyle Roberts, on property located at 5321 Road 24.5, Cortez.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the proposed single lot development AR 3 through 9 rezoning application submitted by Martha Pickens, agent Kyle Roberts, on property located at 5321 Road 24.5, Cortez, Colorado, consisting of 60 acres more or less. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, sir, you are approved.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. And I will close this public hearing.
Did you bring the sign?
No, I'll bring it back.
That's all we've got for this morning.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we have our regular public comment session, and the Board of Montezuma County Commissioners welcomes you to this meeting. Person speaking during public comment will be limited to 3 minutes, or depending on the number of people wishing to speak, it may be reduced to allow all the members of the public the opportunity to address the board. When addressing the board, please state your name and address for the record prior to providing your comments. Comments to individual supervisors or staff are not permitted, and participants may not yield their time to others. And with that, the public comment session is open.
Good morning, Commissioners, gentlemen, ladies. My name is Alan Mays, 21693 County Road 21 in Lewis. I've commented a little bit on this before, but it has to do with our county roads. We are having them improved, and the only thing that I would like to use this venue, the YouTube, to put out there that because those roads are being improved doesn't mean that the speed limit goes up from 40 to 60 to whatever. That's what seems to be happening with our wonderful roads that are being improved. And so common sense is the issue that I'm wanting to use. Our roads are good. They do have drop-offs on those county roads sometimes from the what is considered into the bar ditch. And when we come up on a vehicle and it's coming at us, and we have to get over, we see that they're coming fast. We do. But anyway, sometimes other folks out there aren't as experienced with some of our roads. So that's the only comment I have, is that we can't just say, well, we need to have these roads improved, and so we're happy that they're being improved, and we are. But that's the other thing that has to come with it, is some good common sense for those folks that are out there. The people that use those roads that once they get improved are usually not the homeowners that live out there. They're recreationists, they're hunters, they're people that come into the area and don't know the roads as well. So anyway, I just wanted to pass that along. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
Good morning. Susan Chemnitz, 511 South Cedar Street. And I just wanted to comment on the notice of the public election. There was the use of an acronym, and I didn't know what it was, so I looked it up, and hopefully it's the right one. But it had FOP on there. I don't really think any official notices to the public should contain acronyms, because lots of people don't know what those are. And I was like, what is that? FOP. And it's like, I think you should know what it is, but I couldn't, at the time, I couldn't think what it was, and I looked it up, and what I found was Fraternal Order of Police. And so I was like, oh yeah, that's probably what it is. But you really shouldn't be using those on public notices. Thank you.
Thank you. Next. All right, I'll close the public comment session of this meeting, and we will move right along into unfinished business. All right, we have a schedule of receipts and disbursements for signature. These were presented yesterday by our assessor, treasurer, in our, this was the treasurer yesterday in our workshop. So we've already looked at this, talked about it. I only had one question, and I think other than that, we are good to move forward, gentlemen.
Yep.
I move to accept this schedule of receipts and disbursements presented by Ellen Black, County Treasurer, Montezuma County at this time.
Second.
So it's been moved and seconded to accept and sign the schedule of receipts and disbursements for Montezuma County as presented. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up we have a cooperative wildfire protection agreement. This was submitted by our sheriff yesterday. This is basically the agreement that we sign every year. It does keep the DFPC here for wildland firefighting, and this is pretty much consistent with everything that we have signed in the past. Attorney Tarnowski, did I miss anything on that?
Yeah, the only other bit of discussion we had on that issue was that there was some legislation recently that changed some of the specific obligations that the sheriff has, but it didn't seem like the sheriff was concerned about any of those changes. So with that small caveat, I think the county's, been in the habit of signing these agreements, and the general idea that the sheriff is an important part of wildfire response here in the county, and has certain obligations in working with other partners in our area on those issues, is still true, and this is the agreement that's going to say how that works, essentially.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I would so move that we sign the Cooperative Wildfire Protection Agreement.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to sign the agreement for the Cooperative Wildfire Protection for Montezuma County. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next up, we had a JBBS, Jail-Based Behavioral Services Contract, no acronyms. I usually try to do that. I try not to use acronyms, but I get tied up sometimes. So the Jail-Based Behavioral Services Contract Amendment, it was presented yesterday in our workshop by Lieutenant Vicki Pierce, and this is just part of, for the services that we have out there in the jail, and it is in the amount for the fiscal years presented. Travis just moved it quicker than I could go through, but it's about $530,000.
Sorry, Commissioner, it's actually a $76,000 addition to what we have.
To what we have, okay. All right.
I move to assign this contract amendment number 4 between the Colorado Department of Human Service Behavior Health Administration and Montezuma County for the use of benefits of the Montezuma County Sheriff's Department.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept contract amendment number 4 to the Jail-Based Behavioral Services Contract Amendment. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next off, we had a Yellow Jacket and Flowdine Range Allotment Permit signature. I see Mr. Dieter came in the room, so would you come out and just give the public a quick synopsis of this again, please?
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So we have finally reached concurrence on the Section 106 program agreement for the Yellow Jacket and Flowdine Park Range Allotments Permit reissuance. To give a little history on this, those two allotments have been unused for approximately 20 years. It was roughly mid-2000s when those allotments ceased to be used. And the BLM reissued permits to allow grazing back onto those allotments, but in the face of lawsuits by environmental groups, the BLM decided to rescind those permits and conduct a full NEPA analysis to provide them just a little bit of insulation from potential lawsuits. So as a part of the NEPA analysis, cultural resources was one of the main focuses, as we all know out there, on Canyons of the Ancients. And so that initiated what was the Section 106 process, which is essentially to evaluate it and consult with the State Historical Preservation Office. So that's where we're at today, is that we have come full circle on that. We've determined a methodology for determining where cultural resources are at, and how we can take a look at mitigating those resources. So again, this is just one step in the NEPA process, but this agreement is critical because it allows us to stay engaged with that process. So as we move forward through this, we have questions regarding the cultural resources, et cetera. This will allow us to comment and stay engaged as a concurring party. So that is the purpose of this agreement. And we're one of many concurring parties, which include all the tribes in the region, as well as the County of Dolores as well as Montezuma County.
All right. Again, this was discussed yesterday, and I think, it would benefit us to have a further discussion sometime along the way with Ray O'Neill, the manager down there, or out there. But I think this is a step in the right direction, and maybe we can get something done. Commissioner, do you want to add anything to that, or? Okay.
I don't know if
I'll
we
let
have
you
that
move
much
it.
time.
I'll let you move it forward then.
I move to sign this programmatic agreement between the United States Department of the Interior, the process of the United States Department of the Interior to fulfill its responsibilities in the Flodine Park grazing and the Yellow Jacket grazing allotments in the Canyon of Ancients National Monument.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to sign this programmatic agreement, Section 106 for the Yellow Jacket and Flodine Park allotments permit issuance. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 James,
All
Thank you,
right.
gentlemen.
how long's it taken us to get to this point?
Approximately 20 years.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I wouldn't doubt it takes another 20 years to get us over the finish line. You know, I hate to be that pessimistic, but that's how this process is going.
Well, at least we have something on a piece of paper somewhere. Man.
All right. Well, since you were right here, we will talk about the Cooperative Planning Intergovernmental Agreement with the town of Memphis. This was also presented yesterday, but since you were right here, Mr. Dietrich, I'll ask for another quick synopsis.
Okay. So Montezuma County entered into an agreement with the Department of Local Affairs to take a look at affordable housing in the county. And so basically, Department of Local Affairs, DOLA for our acronym on that one, they had roughly 15 or 16 strategies that we could use to adopt to meet the requirements of our grant contract with them. One of those, one of the things we did through this process was to do a housing assessment. So we've got some good studies, some good background information coming out the other end of it. However, looking at all the strategies that the state pre-approved, virtually none of them really fit Montezuma County because we either met or exceeded virtually all the strategies that they were laying out there. We have a very low regulatory environment, and part of the strategy from the state level was to try to reduce that regulatory environment to try to help stimulate affordable housing. So since we were not able to really meet any of those pre-approved steps, they had one last option, which was to come forward with some kind of an innovative approach. So after working with the county and all the municipalities in the county, Mancos, Dolores, and Cortez, we discovered that it looked like one of the ways that we could improve our position would be to improve the cooperation between all the respective planning departments. So this cooperative planning agreement really establishes a process by which our planning departments, respective planning departments, will work together within an area that's been defined by a map, and that whole area is within the 1 mile area of influence. And so what we did is just took our best guess at what looked like the area where we might likely see some activity, and tried to establish a process so that our respective planning departments can work together and provide recommendations to our leadership that made sense. And so this is what this IGA is intended to do.
Okay, any question?
No.
Okay.
Gerald, do you have anything?
I guess our planning department's okay with all this.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a tool. It doesn't mean that it's going to be, the way I understand it, is anything more or less than what we currently have. Is that correct?
Yes, that's
It's just
correct.
a tool.
It's just a tool, and it establishes a way that we communicate with each other more than anything else.
I move to sign this intergovernmental agreement policy concerning cooperative planning efforts between the Montezuma County and the town of Mancos.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept and sign this cooperative planning intergovernmental agreement with the town of Mancos. Is there further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it. All right, moving right along, we're going to move on to new business, and we have a liquor license renewal applications. Ms. Frizzell.
So the first one I have is for Mancos Brewing Company, located at 484 East Frontage Road, Mancos, Colorado, and no violations.
Okay.
I would so move. We accept the retail liquor license renewal application from Mancos Brewing Company located at 484 East Frontage Road in Mancos.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the retail liquor license renewal application from the Mancos Brewing Company LLC located at 484 East Frontage Road, Mancos, Colorado. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next one.
So the next one's for Triple H and J Incorporated, which was tabled last week, located at 10255 Highway 491 in Cortez. I have Shiloh Higgins here that would like to explain a little bit about the infraction that happened at his store.
Okay.
Do you need me to state my name?
Yeah, please,
So
and
I'm
then,
Shiloh Higgins. I'm a manager and one of the partners. Oh, sorry.
yeah, if you
one
could-
of the partners in the business. So I have finally got a hold of the state, the Liquor Enforcement Division, and got as much information from them as I can. Yeah, so basically what happened was in August of last year, one of the employees at the store sold to an undercover, I don't know what they're considered, an agent of some sort with the Liquor Enforcement Division. He received a ticket. They didn't do anything to the store. They didn't say anything. We didn't get emails, nothing, nothing in the mail, nothing about it. He took care of all of his stuff. We kind of we're waiting for the state to tell us what we needed to do to rectify it on our end. And after I finally got a hold of them, in this last week, after this came up and we realized that nothing had came of it, I called them and they said the way that it works is they write the ticket, they pass it on to their legal team, and then their legal team gets with, whatever stores this has happened to and decides the punishment. So, what I understand is they can close you down for several days. I think it's like 10 days, or you pay a fine, and then we have to set up to do a training with our employees that they do randomly. They don't do them down here as often as we would like them to, but we will set up that. And then he called me on Friday and told me that basically their legal team hasn't done anything with it yet, and he doesn't know why, because this is a very long time. Obviously, it's been almost 6 months. And he said if he had any new information for me, he would call me yesterday or today, and I haven't heard anything back from them, so I don't know what the situation is with them.
So I guess I have a couple questions and some you may not be able to answer. But
Sure.
Specifically to you, what type of corrective actions have you taken as the facility administrator or owner to make sure that this does not happen again.
Right.
Because that's really what I want to hear.
Yes.
Is what are you doing
Absolutely.
to make sure this doesn't happen?
So we're in the process of getting a new, it's called a POS, a point of sale system, that requires you to actually scan their physical ID, or they have those on the app, but it's still scannable. And that's the only way that it will actually unlock the system for you to be able to sell to somebody. So then it'll be, because it's, we check physical IDs, and he obviously had a poor lapse in judgment by not IDing somebody, And then also we now do weekly meetings where I, go over everything that we're doing, and then it's very specific that it's, we are checking IDs and attempting to, until we can get the system in place where we can scan every ID, doing everything we possibly can to make sure that everybody is checking IDs.
Okay, so do you have a written or an incident action plan putting this forward, documenting that what you are doing?
Do I have it written?
Do you have a written incident action plan of what your corrective actions are, what they are?
No, not yet. So from what I understand, that's what we have to send to the state when we're dealing with them. So we haven't done that. Like I said, we're waiting on the state to get everything to us that we need to get done. I can definitely write one up.
I would really like to see an incident action plan of what your corrective actions are.
Sure.
And I think if you're going to have to provide it anyway, it would probably be a pretty good idea, because we are serving the entire community and selling to, I'm going to say underage, if it wasn't that, I apologize, but to whatever created the ticket or the incident, I think the corrective actions need to be taken care of. So that would be my questions right now, gentlemen. Do you have any others?
What concerns me a lot is us not hearing from the state on this for such a long period of time, and you not hearing from them in such a long period of time. Why did they even go to the effort of doing this?
That's a really good question, and that's something I don't have answers for. I do know that that on that same day there was another, I don't know who it was, there was another liquor license in town, and I don't know if it was a full liquor license or a partial liquor license or whatever, that also had this sting, and I don't know that they've had contact from the state either.
Do you know if it was in the city limits or outside the city limits? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
See, we're not hearing anything.
That's my concern, is we're not hearing anything from the state.
Me and Sheriff Nallen now have got a hold of one of the guys.
Can you
and
come back
informed
up to the mic,
Sorry.
please?
Me and Steve Nallen have both contacted now one of our contacts for the liquor license that are doing these things, and letting them know that we are not getting informed at all about any of this stuff. And he goes, well, I've been told that the county clerk has been told. We've been done this now for so many years, and this is the first contact we've had to let us know that there was somebody underage with a sting. And that was just from this one person. It's not from the state. We're not hearing anything from the state. Now, I take that back. I do have one that's going to be coming up that I did get a letter from the state. And that will be coming further down the line. But otherwise, we're not hearing anything. There is City Hall that is having a meeting. Did you hear about this one? They are having a liquor meeting the end of this month, which they've done before. They did it last year, and they're doing it again. They're having the liquor enforcement people coming down and inviting everybody that has a liquor license to come in and go to that meeting and talk about stuff like that.
Okay.
So, I was going to tell, I haven't got it all out yet, so.
It's actually a liquor license class that they're offering to all of the people that deal with this. on how to serve, and so.
And the IDs and everything.
And both Jerry and Melinda are gonna go to it, so they can ask some questions as to what.
And we went last year too, but like I say, but Alan did get a hold of somebody too to inform him. He's not even getting anything.
Well,
He can only
that's-
do the county what he knows of, and he didn't even know about this.
That's
you know,
what concerns
so,
me. Maybe
yeah.
we've issued renewals that people have had violations that we don't know.
That's exactly it. That's what we're saying too. And, you know, and one that we've heard of is just word by mouth. We still haven't heard anything that these other people got stung, you know, which is, we informed them, we don't think that's right either. So we will be bringing this up in that meeting at the end of this month to let everybody, let them know that we're not getting informed of any of this stuff. So, but like I say, Shiloh has done his duty to be able to find out what's going on, because like I say, he didn't even get informed about it. And he's the owner and the manager of this store. You know, his employee told him.
Yeah.
So, which doesn't surprise me.
But I mean, he's
I
done
mean, it
everything
really
he can,
doesn't-
and
doesn't
he's,
surprise
It
me.
doesn't surprise you, but it
However,
really,
for us to move forward, I guess my question is, since you're going to have to establish an IAP anyway, would it be, I'm looking at the dates when this expires, but the due date is 2/20, so it's coming up extremely quickly. And if we don't approve this, then you actually do not have a license to move forward with.
Correct.
So, I mean, if he is actually doing that, going to create a new POS to actually establish that
Yeah.
and submit an IAP to us, I would be okay with that as a contingent, because that's something that you're gonna have to do anyway.
I would add his attendance at this liquor license class.
Yeah, absolutely. I will
And-
be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have as
So-
many of my guys there as I can.
Would we be okay to move it with those contingencies?
I think so. I originally asked to continue this because I wasn't totally clear on exactly what the board's role is in this whole system. I mean, we've had some discussion, I think, about how there are different enforcement mechanisms through the state, which we've had kind of mixed testimony about how well that's going. But it's not the board's not the only entity responsible for policing, but what the board is here to do is to be like a local check on, you know, these kind of establishments in our community, and make sure that they are, you know, meeting the needs and desires of the community and maintaining public safety. If the board wanted to deny a liquor license, basically the standard for that has to be good cause shown to deny a liquor license. Nobody has a right to have their liquor license renewed necessarily. It's up to the board, but the board's supposed to, you know, receive evidence about the violations and consider, always, you know, fairness, but public safety and compliance. And I think we heard, was your name Mr. Higgins?
Yes.
Yeah, from Mr. Higgins, thank you. That he is taking some steps to make sure he's following these requirements. And so, I think what the board does need to do probably today, with the deadline being what it is, it would be beneficial from my perspective to make a decision, knowing that you can always, there's an ongoing requirement for this liquor license to come before the board and be renewed in the future. So I think ultimately what we need out of this meeting is a denial or a approval. But if the board would like to put stipulations on it, I don't see a prohibition against that. But I would caution the board that probably the way that's enforceable is through this application coming back before the board in the future.
Correct, and
Yeah.
I understand that also. And we're just trying to make sure that your corrective actions are done and done properly, and that
Yes.
you have the proper education. I'm looking at the dates, and we're not, or I don't personally, I mean, I'm not looking to shut you down. That's not the intent. The intent is to make sure that the corrective actions have been taken, and that you guys are now trained and more aware of what's going on.
Yes.
But realize that it sounds like this is your first a fence anyway. But if there was another fence next year when this did come up, then we'd probably be looking at something totally different.
Right, yes, yeah,
So-
and we do understand that, and we do take this seriously, you know, obviously it's, you know, part of our livelihoods.
Sure.
So we don't want these things to happen either.
So that's all I would like to see is just the corrective actions and the incident action plan that you're going to present.
Okay.
It sounds like you're probably going to have it ready anyway.
That's
so,
that's what I'm gathering. Like I said, it's
you know, if
not
you could have
something that
that within a week's time,
Sure.
I think that would be awesome. Get it to Ms. Frizzell, and then she can forward it up the chain to us. But
Okay.
that would be my request, if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would so move that we approve retail liquor license renewal application for Triple H and J Incorporated, doing business at Smitty's Liquors at 10255 Highway 491, contingent upon the new point-of-sale system being purchased. I know it's going to take a while to get it up and running.
Yeah, so basically what we're waiting on is the hardware for it. The software is obviously available, but our hardware, like our computer system, is old enough that they won't cooperate. I don't know how the technical term is.
Right.
We're waiting on new hardware for it. Should be available within the next few weeks,
Okay.
I'm hoping.
Yeah. Will you have it in 30 days?
What's that?
You have it done in 30 days?
I would hope that it can be done in 30 days. Like I said, I don't know when that hardware becomes available from them. They're supposed to get back to me on when the hardware is, or the computer.
We understand that well, too. But let's put it as soon as possible.
Absolutely, yes. I'm expecting an email or a phone call from them today.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that they can tell me good news that will be available in the next week or so.
And also in those contingencies, attendance at the liquor licensing class.
Yes.
And an action plan presented to the clerk's office.
Absolutely.
Second.
Okay, let me see if I can capture all this. It's been moved and seconded to accept the retail liquor license renewal application for Triple H and J Incorporated, doing business as Smitty Liquors, located at 10255 Highway 491, with the contingency of the POS being installed and in place as soon as possible, the attendance of the liquor license class, along with the incident action plan submitted to Ms. Frizzell.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Now,
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I will go and let you know that a long time ago, we did this, and we basically did the same steps. First one is kind of what we just did. Second time is a 10-day closure. Third time is revocation of the license.
Understood.
And thank you for coming in.
Yes, we
Appreciate it.
appreciate you.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Jerry, okay. Okay, moving right along, we have our reports now. Mr. Tarnowski, what do you have for us, sir?
Commissioners, I don't have too much to report this week. There weren't really any major developments on any of the civil cases the county's involved in. I was also laid up one day last week. I got a minor procedure done on my foot. I'll spare everyone the details, but it did slow me down a little bit the middle of the week, but I'm obviously back up and running pretty well. Today, I do just want to comment that for the assistant county attorney position, I had posted that to run through this week, so I've got it advertised everywhere with the Bar Association and a whole bunch of other places, with like a soft deadline at the end of this week with, open till filled, but I'd like to have some applications in. And at this point, I really have not received any additional applications. I've been doing a lot of work trying to make more connections and really get us out there with different places, particularly the law schools. I mentioned this before, but tomorrow I'll be part of a panel discussion over the lunch hour about practicing law in rural parts of the state with current law students. So I just wanted to kind of give the board an update on that, you know, we're still running with just me in the office, doing all the legal work, but I'm hoping that we'll get some applications here. But this will be a point that I look to kind of see if what we're doing is working or not. I think the first time I really put the position up on a tight time frame, thinking that there might be some particular people from our area interested, and they were not interested for all different reasons. But this time I think it really was posted for almost 2 months, and I got it up everywhere. And I've been doing what I can to get on the phone and that kind of thing. But, you know, knock on wood, we get some applications by the end of the week. And if we don't, I think we may have to have a more like in-depth conversation about how we're going to staff the office and get the work done more on a longer term, because I've obviously been able to do, you know, everything that's been needed to be done. We've had to contract a couple more things out, I think, than would have been the case if we had 2 attorneys. But I still don't think this is a one-person office in the long term, just as different things come up. I don't think that's a great long-term plan, and we'll just have to, you know, see how we do as far as any additional applicants.
All right. Thank you, Stephen. Any questions for Stephen? No. All right. Mr. Anderson.
Just a few things, Commissioners. Got a request to go to Denver the 19th through the 21st to attend a CML conference regarding some legislative issues, and I'll be traveling over there. We continue to monitor the federal grants and federal revenues based upon what the executive order has provided for us. Administration and finance, we're going to start March 1st approximately overseeing the Sheriff's Office's finance and budget. I think it'll be a smooth transition. That was agreed upon by the Sheriff, and hopefully we'll be able to get everything on track and things will run smoother for both sides. So did have a quick phone call regarding the fairgrounds last week. Additionally, one of our electric cars got hit. Not a lot of damage, but enough it's going to need some repair. So luckily everybody's okay. It wasn't our fault. And then some phone calls regarding solar farms.
We don't have anything?
No.
No.
No. I think they're wanting the commissioners to be preemptive and kind of along the same conversations we've had over our meetings, and so.
All right. Very good. Miss Smith, Diana, Miss Purcell, whoever wants to go down there.
County Clerk's Office.
That's right. I just want to introduce Diana Smith. She started with the office in motor vehicle. Actually, most people know her from Dr. Heil's office.
Yeah.
We managed to talk her into joining us, and she started in motor vehicle. Then she moved into elections and bookkeeping, and now we're doing a little bit of cross-training. She's going to help me out when I'm not available to come talk with you guys. So she's amazing. You guys are going to love her. Just wanted you to know. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. And with that, Diana, I'll put you on the spot. Do you have anything that you would like to add?
No, I'm really excited to do this, although I will get over my fear of public speaking or into the microphone. But yes, I'm very glad to be here and doing this. So, and thank you. And
All right.
Everything's going smoothly.
Thank you. Thank you guys both. All right. Commissioners' reports. I will go to my left. Mr. Commissioner. I'm not going to say it again.
This past week, had a meeting for AAA, or Adult Aging Agency, basically the fiduciary board for the senior services, last Wednesday. I attended that by Zoom. Then I attended the cattlemen's meeting Saturday out at the fairgrounds, along with the other two commissioners, and had a lot of conversations out there and some different reports, so that's about all I got.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Lindsay?
Yeah, a little short and sweet, but I also went out and participated at the Cattlemen's Saturday morning, and city council tonight, and I didn't look at the agenda, so I don't know what's up yet, but I don't think they really have too much, so that's about all I have.
All right, mine is going to be about as short too. I did, along with these two gentlemen, Saturday attend the Southwest Livestock Association or Cattlemen's, whichever is the best description. Sorry, I don't recognize the entire name, but that was a pretty good event. Did get to listen to a lot of the federal partners that we do have here, and talk to them one-on-one after the meeting, so that went very well. I did have a meeting with the Journal along with administration for an interview Thursday afternoon, talking about legislative briefing. Had a housing authority meeting Saturday afternoon that was very long. A lot of things going on and happening there. Did make it to the Dolores meeting last night, and they are moving things forward, and they were talking about one of the biggest issues was they still have Zoom that they send out. I know that we use YouTube. Our meetings are all recorded and people can view it, but they're going one step in the discussion was, did they need Zoom to send out to everybody? So I did have to leave prior to that discussion, so I'm not sure how it turned out, but that's pretty much all that I have. So with that,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to adjourn this February 11th, 2025 meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.